Hey, what's up guys? So boy do I have a treat for you guys who love parrots out there. So I'm north of Brisbane in Queensland, Australia right now, and I'm at Joe Ball's place. And I actually came over here to film an episode for Reptile Adventures on Joe's Reptiles, but then I saw his brand new aviary here. So he converted an old tractor shed into a parrot aviary. Wait until you guys see this. All right, so this is Joe Ball, and we're in Queensland, Australia right now.
You're back in Queensland,
Back in Queensland, Australia. Yeah. This is my 5th trip here, and I just love Australia. But, you know, I know that Australia has very strict exotic laws, and therefore coming here to actually film those... But you know, coming here to film an episode for Reptile Adventures, I never expected to come in here and see all of these macaws and other parrots. You've got to show us some of these. These are amazing.
Yeah, cool. So just a note on that. As you guys are aware, in Australia, we're only allowed to keep native species when it comes to reptiles. Now, this was all sort of set in concrete, if you like, back in the day when the archaic Australian government sort of set some of the legislation.
Right.
But at that point, the bird lobbyists or the bird sort of groups and so on had a little bit of influence at government level, and they were able to secure certain species of exotic parrots that we were allowed to keep. And this is what you're looking at today.
You know, this macaw in this enclosure right here is one of the most incredible macaws I have ever seen. Oops, that slammed. Look at this beauty.
It's a male, and his name's Teeny Weeny.
His name's Teeny Weeny. I love it. All right, and what kind of morph is this?
It's a Latino. So it would be basically the same mutation as an albino in reptiles. So it's a recessive mutation, and yeah, so we've got the red eyes, and it takes away all the blue pigment. So when you see its wild type equivalent, that's the normal form. So it takes out all the black and all the blue and leaves you with red eyes, just the same as your albino, whether it be a corn snake, python, blue tongue. Yeah.
And now, before we started filming, you were telling me that this is one of what, like 20 in the world?
I believe there's about 20 odd in the world, give or take.
Wow.
So it's pretty rare. There is a few out there, but pretty rare. Yeah, and it's one of those got-to-haves for macaw keepers. Yeah.
And now, is this a mated pair?
Yeah, well, he's 2 years old and she's 3 years old.
Gotcha.
So she's het for Latino, or split, as the bird world like to use.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, just an amazing bird. Okay, so you also have another morph of golden blue macaw over here.
Yeah, the bird game, there's a lot more money in it.
So, than the reptile game, yeah.
But it takes longer to punch stuff out, and you know, when you have success, you're producing 1, 2 animals as opposed to clutches of. So markets tend to stay at the same level for longer periods.
Right.
Animals breed at 5, 6, 7, and 8 years of age. It's not for the faint-hearted, and you need to invest a little bit of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. All right, so here is the incredible golden blue macaw. What morph is this then?
This is an opaline. So this differs in its mode of inheritance. It's a sex-linked mutation. So all you need to make one of those is for the cockbird, which is your guy on the right, to carry the gene.
Right.
So if he carries the gene and you put him over a normal, all the hens come out yellow.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
And now how many morphs of this particular morph is in the world?
Probably twice as many. It'd be sort of towards 50 of those.
Gotcha.
But still, pretty rare considering how big the bird is.
Extremely rare.
Yeah.
Man, the color on those wings is almost turquoise. Like,
Yeah, it's sort of like ocean blue. Isn't
yeah, it really is.
Coral blue.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that is just a gorgeous macaw. Now, the caging that you have for these birds is extremely unique. Did you build these cages?
Well, when we moved to the property, there was this big agricultural shed here that
Right.
was a storage place for tractors and farm machinery, and me being me had no real need for that. So I just saw it as an opportunity to do something weird and wacky with animals. So what we decided to do was create aviaries where you could have your birds that could fly in and out of the shed, but maintain your roller doors. So at night you could shut the birds up so that you could control noise, essentially. Because these guys tend to go off, if you like, at 5 a.m. and 6 p.m. And if you've got them under control and inside, you can let them out when you're ready to hear it.
Absolutely.
You know?
All right, so you've got this indoor area in here in the shed, and then an outdoor area out here. But look at this. So the shed door actually closes and sections off this enclosure. Oh, in they go. So look at that. And so each one of these enclosures has an indoor section and an outdoor section, and then they're divided by the doors that came with the shed. I'm telling you, this may be the most ingenious parrot cage design I have ever seen. This is ingenious. So here's what the interior of this shed looks like. An enclosure there, Those are the Amazons over here, the cage we were just in over here. And then right here you have your African greys.
Next phase will be to punch a hole through there and have these guys to fly in and out too. But
Gotcha.
as with any large project, it's split into phases. And
Right.
I'm not quite there yet on that. So
Well, one project at a time.
yeah.
These are great. Now, do these guys say anything, or have you taught them to talk?
They say plenty of stuff. But as with any birds, when there's strangers in the midst, they tend to be a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Wow, these are just gorgeous birds. Look at
Something
you.
quite captivating about an African grey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They know they're beautiful.
Even though it's just grey, but yet beautiful.
Right.
Strange, hey?
Right. I think for me, it's that red tail.
Yeah.
It's the red tail. All right. So over here you have some green Amazons.
Yeah, so that's a double yellow-headed Amazon. That's a mutation too. That's a red-eyed fallow there. That's the only one in the world of those.
Is it really?
So if you see the red eyes on him next to his next to the wild type sibling there. Yeah, it's similar to an albino with it having the red eyes, but it isn't as diluted as a full albino. They call it a fallow in bird terminology.
A fallow, okay.
Yeah, so it has red eyes and it dilutes sort of 50% of the colour out. And I know there's a lot of people out there that love these softer mutations. You know?
So say again, that's the only one in the world.
Yeah, it was popped out in Australia. So that is those 4 birds there represent the only animals that are related to that and that group.
Oh,
so,
fantastic.
yeah,
Wow.
so-
All right, so this is an incredible undertaking. How long did it take you to build all this?
I've had the idea in my head. Well, since we moved here, I had the idea in my head, which was 3 years ago. To actually bring it to life, it's sort of been 18 months to do sort of cage by cage. Obviously, the guy that does it for me too, he's a conceptual kind of guy,
Right.
but he does it all himself. So it has to be one cage at a time. Quite expensive too. It's cost me sort of 10k to do each, 10k per cage and more on the larger cages. And
Wow.
yeah, so
wow.
it's piece by piece, and anything conceptual and unique and custom, as anybody in the reptile game knows, when you try and make a custom cage,
Sure.
that you tend to be up for 3 times the cost of what you
Wow.
what you initially thought.
Absolutely.
So,
right.
yeah,
Right.
And on top of that, obviously it gets hot here in Australia, so we've had to go to town and do. We've got whirly birds on the roof.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah.
a sprinkler system on the roof. We've got, a variety of different things in place to keep this place cool. And the intention wasn't to go, as with some bird keepers, they've got 30 pairs. It was never about that. It was about, right, let's get 7 or 8 pairs of birds and get it absolutely right. Because I know that my enjoyment of animals has always been at its best, or you know, the best experience has always been when you've got the right number of animals and you have time to do it, and you can put 120% in, and that was literally what the aim was here.
Absolutely, wow. All right, guys, so this was a really unexpected surprise here. I actually came here to film Joe's incredible reptiles for my other channel, Reptile Adventures, but man, to see this, I knew I just had to pull out my camera and film an episode for this channel on these incredible parrots. So anyway, guys, check out our Patreon in the description below. I'm gonna put Joe's information in the description below as well. Check that out as well. And until the next animal adventure, love the planet, feed your animal obsession, and rattle on.